Hey, what's up guys? John the Pilot at Soar & More. Today, I'm talking about 5 cons that both me and my wife have found owning our brand new 2024 Grand Highlander. They're not necessarily deal breakers, but I just wanted to get this information out to you guys if you're trying to make a purchase and just have something to think about. So let's get into it. Okay, so the very first thing that I've found, being a con, with our 2024 Grand Highlander is that basically when you're only getting the gas model, the only version that you can get is a 2.4 liter turbo. Okay, so just recently we're only at 518 miles on this car, and we've noticed that we were used to our 2018 Highlander, which had a V6 in it. So I guess the engine block was a little bit bigger. It could probably deliver a little bit more torque. This is a 265 horsepower engine. The other one, I believe, was about 276. This has an 8-speed transmission versus the the other Highlander we own only had a 6-speed transmission. So it seemed to be that there was a little bit more oomph. Now, if you want to get a different engine, the only ones that are available is the 2.4 liter turbo with the hybrid, which is on the, I'm going to go ahead, depending on if you get an all-wheel drive version or if you get the normal front-wheel drive version, it's going to have a different setup. But you can also get the more power version, which is the 2.5 liter turbo with the hybrid. So, and from what I've seen, the power in those things is absolutely great. The one con that I could think about when you're dealing with these new Toyota engines, number one, is that we don't know what the problems are going to be yet. Number two, if you want more power, you've got to do the hybrid version, and then the hybrid version completely sets up with a supplement of electric batteries. And I don't know if you guys saw the news recently, Toyota just had a rash of recalls on their Priuses. So when you buy this car, in a way, I don't want to say you're taking a gamble, because I know Toyota will fix it. From everything that I've seen, their engineers will get on the horn, and if there's any problems with this car, there is a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. There are unknowns about this engine. The other things I do like working on my cars personally, and there's a lot of ways that this thing was set up so that I personally cannot work on them. I enjoy working on cars, so that's a con. So number two for the cons is not that it's just the way business models run. The infotainment system is absolutely awesome. You can see we've got CarPlay going. You have all the cool accoutrements like that. My wife has an Android, so she's got Android Auto when she drives the car. There are a ton of great options, tons of great features. All right. It's also wireless. You can see I'm using my phone right now to do this, and I don't have any wires connected, and you can kind of go through and see all the stuff I have. The only issue is that when your subscription runs out for the remote start, the remote locking, the remote unlocking, right? You have to pay a premium for that. And I've seen some of those plans going all the way up to $50 extra a month. Me personally, I'm not sure how long our subscription lasts since we've purchased this vehicle. So the new business model now is to get you paying monthly for something. So the good news is that this car did come standard with a normal remote start using the key fob. So at least we have that option if we're within distance that the car can pick up the key fob. So that's something to consider. That would be another con. The next con that we've noticed is that we have to have a rear facing seat for our newborn son. Let me explain to you why I think that this is a con, depending on your body type. My wife kind of noticed it. She was a little disappointed in it. Yes, the Grand Highlander has got plenty of room. It's just limited in our specific configuration. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And the only thing, and this is pretty common in most cars, you can see the rear facing seat. This is the quick connect system that we have set up. It's all tethered, ready to rock. There is no space at all behind the driver's seat here. This is maxed. So the only option that we have is all we can do is move this forward. This seat right here will not slide back any further. So we're limited to exactly what we have here based on that specific car seat, and all the options here that are based on all the available room that is here now with the way it sits. So this seat will obviously go back, but right now we are pushing into our son's car seat. Now, is it a deal breaker? No, I don't think it's a deal breaker, because you can make do for what the Grand Highlander space-wise provides. It's for me, I've got shorter legs. My wife has got longer legs. Sweet. But the thing is it doesn't affect me. She just noticed that that's a con. The next con that we've run into we've already talked about the engine only being in 4-cylinder turbo. It's new. We don't know what the problems are going to be yet. Next thing we talked about was the infotainment center, because eventually you will have to pay a subscription if you want to continue to use these services such as the remote start, the remote locking or unlocking, and or using the car as a hotspot through the AT&T cell towers. We talked about the limited space between the driver, rear-facing baby seat, and we have it configured this way because it's easier for my wife to get out of her seat, move over, and get the baby in the back here. We really don't have any issue with the cargo room. It's phenomenal. The next thing is the tether configuration. This car has got a total of 4 tethers. So if you wanted those extremely secure car seats, there's 4, but there's no way for you to absolutely use all 4. So if you are a big family, the most that you're probably going to be able to do is have 1 car seat in the back, like what we do for our son here, another tether in the captain's chair, since we have the captain's chair's configuration there and there, right? But as you can see, the space, even if we were to pull this seat up, there's not enough space in order to tether here, because you can see, look at the line. This is the edge of my son's seat and it goes to here. So there's no way to tether there. And the other thing is there isn't any seatbelt connects on this side for one of these types of seats here. So that is something to consider. The next thing is the cargo room in this is phenomenal. Hopefully I can put something here where it talks about the cubic feet, the cubic feet that you have provided. So if you were going to go to the grocery store, no problem in this situation. Even if you were going to go to Home Depot and you were going to pick up some good stuff, a lot of plants and all that, you can lay all these seats down, no problem. The one thing is, if you're a family and you need to use this car for everything, and you may be a woodworker, or if you are some type of, I want to say, do-it-yourselfer for the house, the way it is designed back here is there is plenty of room where you could fit a 4x8 sheet of plywood. However, here, there, and then the same on this side, you'd either have to put the plywood up and build a platform to be able to do that, or you'd have to find some way to protect that, because you're definitely going to scratch up your interior. Now, the ultimate con, and I think this is in all the Toyotas now, because unfortunately a lot of people complained about it. And for us, in our 2018 Highlander, the most important thing that my wife needed to use was we would always pack our Highlander to the brim. I mean, you couldn't see out the back. I talk about how that wasn't safe. I know, all that kinds of stuff. It is what it is, but what we used to do is be able to pop the hatch and put more stuff on top. And what that did is it allowed us to travel. We go, sometimes we'll travel through 2 or 3 states when we're driving, because it's just easier than traveling by plane sometimes. And all the Grand Highlanders, all the Highlanders now, none of their rear hatches open. And it's unfortunate, because what happened and this actually happened to my wife. She was at a car wash, and when she was at the car wash, they ended up opening the rear hatch. As they opened the rear hatch, they did not put it all the way back down and close it 100%. So what happened is this, when open, the whole door opened, but the hatch itself wasn't closed. So it did not want to close back. And what it did is it gave a weird error message on the driver's information panel here, and nobody could figure it out. And I got frustrated. My wife got frustrated. The car company was like, the car wash company was like, oh crap, did we break something? Do we have to fix it? And it turns out all I did was I pushed that, I clicked it, the thing closed, and I was like, we goofed. But a lot of people throughout the United States and other places in other countries started complaining about it. So Toyota was like, it was an opportunity for them. They changed a little bit of their production. They changed a little bit of their manufacturing. Guess what? I don't know how much of the parts cost in order to open this. 2 gas struts, a locking mechanism, maybe some weather stripping, and just, I would say, a little engineering when it comes to the angles for opening and closing. They changed that completely, and it just drove their profits up, okay? So we really, really wish out of all the things, this opened, but it doesn't. So last but not least, another con about this vehicle, and I'm going to say it's about all vehicles total, is COVID happened. The United States of America printed a ton of money. I don't know, we printed 60% of our currency over the past, 2 years than we've been in existence. And the unfortunate fact for that is it made everything ungodly expensive. So with it being ungodly expensive, you know, this car's sticker price was, let me get it. This car's sticker price was $53,960, right? And then they wanted an addendum on there, which was about another $6 grand, $7 grand for $59,351. And I think what happened was a lot of car companies, to include Toyota, saw an opportunity from their marketing departments and also their financing departments to make a killing on a lot of people, especially when a lot of people's medium income, when all this inflation happened, did not change at all. So, you know, I can't say it's necessarily the hit on Toyota, but I'm going to go ahead and say that overall, car companies everywhere, I think, are still trying to take advantage of this. And what you can see is when you go to lots, now their inventory is starting to build up. I actually caught some inventory for Grand Highlanders in this video here. Things aren't moving as fast as they are. Also, in that video, you're going to see how much Tundras are piling up. So anyway, just to recap, Con only comes in a 2.4 liter turbo if you don't want to deal with a hybrid. And then if you want a hybrid option for this car, I have a significant consideration of worry when it comes to the batteries. However, it supposedly gives you a different driving experience because you get over 300 horsepower total out of the car with a lot of torque. So the next thing, or excuse me, just to recap, the infotainment center, you will have to pay a subscription eventually for that if you want any of the remote features such as locking from your cell phone, starting the car from your cell phone, or any type of Wi-Fi hotspot. Rear facing baby seat, you got a limited amount of space there. My wife said she noticed it, but it's not something to completely change her mind about the car. She loves it. She loves this car. The other con, the tether system and the way they're set up. Yes, there are 4 tethers in this car, but realistically speaking, with our captain seat configuration, you're only going to be able to use 3 full time. And then I said, for, you know, like the husbands out there, if you guys go to Home Depot, there is plenty of space for you to get a lot of stuff. You could easily fit, you know, a do-it-yourself piece of furniture that you have to build from IKEA in here. However, 4x8 sheet of plywood, it's probably not going to work in here, even with all the seats folded down. Now, with that being said, our 2018 Grand Highlander, we have way more space in this. Or excuse me, our 2018 Highlander, this has way more space than that. And then last but not least, this hatch here does not open. Nothing, nada. It is closed. It is only a window with a wiper on it. So Toyota's saving money on that, and they're charging a premium for their vehicles. But well, anyways, guys, we've got 571 miles on this car. The miles per gallon, as it states in the little eco meter there, it's showing we're getting about 18.2 miles per gallon. We really own this car. This is our honest thoughts about what's going on. My son lives sitting in the back. All right, if you're interested in any other content, throw some comments below. I'll answer any questions about this car. If you're trying to make a purchase, this video is intended for you to have all the information you can. We are not affiliated with Toyota. I don't get anything for this. I'm just trying to help out you guys with some information so you know what to do if you're trying to look for this vehicle. Well, anyways, John the Pilot, until the next video, like, comment, subscribe, hook me up with a subscription. I'd appreciate it. See ya.